Hello, and thank you for coming to the Muck Waters Effect. I'm your host, Matt, and today I'm going to be talking about Liz Cheney. But first, I need you to hit like, subscribe, helps the channel grow. Now let's get on with the show. Now, first thing I want to say about the ouster of Liz Cheney out of leadership of the Republican Party, I'm not a big fan of it, and the reason is because I'm a big believer of being a very inclusive party, have all opinions in our party, whether we like them or not. And her opinion is her opinion. She has a right to it. Even though it goes against the narrative of the Republican Party for the most part. But not everybody agrees with that narrative. That includes her, Mitt Romney, so on and so forth. That don't mean they should be exercised out of the party. What that means is we need to do better to actually set our argument, and maybe we can convince them that we're right. Because the fact is, the media is not going to help us with any of that. They're going to misconstrue what the Republican Party is saying and demonize the Republican Party and make them look like they're fools and conspiracy theories. But we're not. Okay, here's an article from today. Liz Cheney is set to be ousted from her GOP leadership role. Now, the vote is supposed to be somewhere around either Tuesday, late Tuesday, or Wednesday. Now, they already had a vote before, and she won. They kept her in power and in her leadership. And now they want to take her out of power because she went to the Washington Post. Toxic and unhinged Liz Cheney went rogue, organized op-ed against President Donald Trump and Washington Post with 10 former defense secretaries. Now, I think Liz Cheney did the wrong thing here. She did this op-ed against Donald Trump and these defense secretaries, and when she did it, she made Kevin McCarthy look bad. And I think if she would have talked to Kevin McCarthy before she did it, I don't think she would have gotten in trouble, or there wouldn't have been as big of an issue on it. But she didn't, and it's Kevin McCarthy that's actually looking to oust her out now instead of Donald Trump pushing it. Donald Trump was pushing it when they were doing the first vote, and it didn't happen. And now it's Kevin McCarthy that's actually going after her because she went against his wishes by doing this and not asking beforehand. I think if she would have asked beforehand, it would have been fine. There would have been more solidarity in the party at that point, but she didn't. And I think there's a reason for it, why she didn't ask permission. And I will go over that right now. Now, this article has to do with Newt Gingrich's opinion, and I completely agree with his opinion. He believes that Liz Cheney doesn't want to be part of the Republican leadership in Congress anymore. And I agree with him, but I go a step further. I believe that she's actually considering making a run for president, and she wants to be the anti-Trump candidate of the party. Now, she's going to be running in the Republican Party, and she's going to be the anti-Trump candidate. Now, obviously, she's going to get a lot of support from the Lincoln Project, which is anti-Trumpers. And I can see her getting a lot of support when it comes to the Democrat Party, as well as big tech and media. But are they going to support her like they would like someone like Kamala Harris in 2024? No. But they'll definitely give her more support than they would someone like Trump or Josh Hawley. And I have another thought about her being ousted out of her leadership. And it is that the person they're talking about replacing her is Ella Severkis. Now, I'm hoping I didn't butcher her name. I'm pretty sure I did. But now when it comes to her voting record, she voted 74% with Trump. And when it comes with Liz Cheney, she voted 90% with Trump. So Liz Cheney is the more conservative of the two congresswomen. And not only that, I'm a big believer of just because they have a different opinion, that don't mean you should oust them out of the leadership. Obviously, I said this at the beginning, but you got to convince them, have a proper argument that you might be right, that you are right. And to look at things the way you look at them, and maybe they'll understand where you're coming from. Now I'm going to give you my opinion on whether or not Liz Cheney will run for president. I think there's a good possibility she will, because the fact is you're not going to have an anti-Trump candidate on stage. You're going to have a few people that will probably run against him, someone like Ted Cruz, but Ted Cruz and Donald Trump's viewpoints aren't much different, except for maybe the wars in the Middle East. And that's another thing about her. She's what he said about her being a warmonger. He's not wrong because her daddy is Dick Cheney, and the orchestrator of the Middle East and the wars there, as well as with a lot of Democrats and other Republicans, neocons. But I'm getting off point. I think if she doesn't win the nomination, or she doesn't have a chance of winning the nomination, I could see her running third party. And that would be catastrophic for the Republican Party, because I'd say a lot of votes would probably go to her maybe, and it'd make it hard or almost impossible for Donald Trump to win. It would be like whenever Ross Perot, when he ran for president in 92 and 96, against George H.W. Bush and then Bob Dole. Both those elections, you had Bill Clinton win the presidency. A lot of votes were taken away by Ross Perot because he's very conservative. But if you hear Ross Perot, what he says about jobs, our trading practices, and so on and so forth, it sounds very similar to Donald Trump. Guys, now it's time for my last thought. When I say inclusive, I think we need to get more people with diverging opinions. The way we normally think. I have a diverging opinion compared to most Republicans on certain things, especially when it comes to the war in the Middle East, and as well as the drug war. I also have a divergent opinion when it comes to gay marriage and trans rights. But that doesn't mean I'm less conservative than any of them. But this is why we need to have conversations. And Liz Cheney, in my opinion, she has. I think she's a neocon. I think she has more in common with the Democrat Party when it comes to the Middle East and things like that. When it comes to financial practices, I think she's on the conservative wing of the party. It just, the party needs to have a big tent, is what I'm saying. And she's part of that tent, whether we agree with her opinion on the selection or not, or what they call the big lie. But I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Please hit like and subscribe. It helps the channel grow. Peace.